as you can see, lining up ready for their first of 5 races across the course of the weekend, with a full support programme of car racing and plenty more off-track activities as well. Dave Goddard here taking you through the action this weekend in sunny South Wales. First of 2 visits this year by the British Truck Racing Championship to this venue. Grid lining up then for our first truck race of the weekend. The qualifying session took place earlier this morning. We'll take you through the grid. In pole position for Division 1 of the British Truck Racing Championship is the reigning champion, going for title number 7 this year. Ryan Smith was over a second quicker than anyone else in qualifying this morning. He lines up alongside the 10 times champion, number 7, Stuart Oliver in the Volvo. Second row at number 18 of John Newell lines up alongside 89 of Simon Reed in the Iveco, MAN and Iveco on the second row. 4 different makes of truck in the top 4 places: Daimler, Volvo, MAN and Iveco. I can't remember the last time that happened. Row 3, we will have Stephen Powell, number 3, alongside 86 of Tom O'Rourke. And on row 4 we should have number 81 Mark Taylor lining up alongside the 69 of David Jenkins. Didn't have the best of runs in qualifying, David Jenkins in truck number 69, currently second in the points behind Ryan Smith after the season opener at Brands Hatch. Row 5 is number 95 Ricky Collett alongside 46 of Bradley Smith. The 6th row, number 12 Michael Oliver, son of Stuart, starts alongside number 68 Craig Reed, and number 92 Simon Faulkner rounds out the Division 1 grid. Then there's a gap and we have the grid for Division 2 for the slightly less powerful trucks. It's number 32 Jock Borthwick, the Scotsman, who has set pole in that division. Former champion Luke Garrett, number 42, alongside him. Second row of the Division 2 grid, number 5 of Adam Bint alongside number 10 Craig Evans. The third row, number 14 John Bowler alongside number 6 the Division 2 Championship leader, that's of John Powell in his DAF. And number 16 Brad Smith goes from the back of the field. He had 1 or 2 problems in qualifying this morning. And hopefully we'll hear from Pointy, our paddock interviewer, later on to find out what's happened there. Trucks ready and in position, slightly ahead of schedule here at Pembrey. Very efficient from the British Truck Racing Championship officials and the BARC, British Automobile Racing Club officials as well. A full programme of supports as well. We've got the Pickup Truck Racing Championship here. We've got the Mini Challenge Trophy category, identical Mini Cooper S cars racing. A lot of rising stars of saloon car racing there. And we've also got the 2CVparts.com Classic Citroën 2CV Racing Championship. Their first of 2 races this weekend will be taking place today. Another race coming up tomorrow. 15 minutes for the trucks then. Then after our lunch break we'll have the first race for the Mini Challenge Trophy. That will be a 20-minute race. They've lengthened their races to 20 minutes. Then it's the first race for the Pickup Truck Racing Championship, and that's followed by the 2CVs. So the official pace truck, the DAF, in position to lead the trucks away for a rolling start. If you've not seen truck racing before, you have a real treat coming up. These trucks weigh around 5 tonnes. They're almost 1,000 horsepower, the most powerful trucks on the grid. 13 and 14 litre turbo diesel engines. And the drivers fling them around almost like they're rally cars sometimes around this tricky Pembrey circuit. As we say, it is the first of 2 visits to Pembrey this year. Ryan Smith going for title number 7 in Division 1 this year in the Daimler Freightliner on pole position. Daimler chassis with a Freightliner body, a new truck for him this year, alongside the 10 times champion Stuart Oliver, former European champion as well in his Volvo VNL. Magnificent sight they make as they head down towards Hatchett's Hairpin. Behind the pace truck, there's Division 2, headed up by the MANs of Jock Borthwick and Ross and Luke Garrett, son of Ross Garrett, the former champion. Good to see Luke Garrett back. He contested the European Championship last year. Sadly, doesn't visit the UK anymore. The Volvo white Aerodyne of Adam Bint on the second row. Didn't have the best of season openers at Brands Hatch, had a few problems with the Volvo. James Pearson has already said in our YouTube comments, go Team Bint. Stuart Oliver alongside. John Newell, the Yorkshireman, on the second row, alongside Simon Reed in the Iveco. Two more Ivecos are at the back. Craig Reed, last year's Division 2 champion. Simon Faulkner at the back. John Borthwick and Luke Garrett at the front of Division 2. There's Adam Bintz. The Division 2 championship leader is John Powell, number 6 in his blue DAF. He's back on row 3. There is John Powell with the green sides to his truck as they head along Speedway Straights down towards the rolling start. The pace truck will pull into the pit lane. Comes through Carter's Curve, then into Honda Corner, the end of the lap. More powerful Division 1 trucks at the front of the field. Of course, absolutely nothing like the trucks you see on the motorway, these. Good to see Brad Smith is there at the back after 1 or 2 issues in qualifying, the number 16. Number 14, John Bowler, very patriotically liveried truck. The pace truck is in pit lane. We are ready to rumble here at Pembrey Race Circuits. The race about to get underway for the British Truck Racing Championship, the first of 5 races this weekend, and we are underway. The power comes on and they thunder their way down towards Hatchett's Hairpin for the first time. Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver side by side. It's going to be Smith who takes the line, takes the lead on the run into turn 1. David Jenkins trying to get the outside, 3 wide into the hairpin. That's never going to work. Stephen Powell on the inside. It was Tom O'Rourke, I think, in the middle. Michael Oliver has clipped the barrier on the inside, and the number 12 there in his MAN. Division 2 come through behind with John Borthwick in the lead. But apart from that momentary problem for Michael Oliver, they have all got round Hatchett's Hairpin up towards Spitfires, then the left-hander at Debenny, then over the crossing, and it's Ryan Smith who's got the lead in truck number 1 ahead of Stuart Oliver, John Newell, Simon Reed. Stephen Powell, number 3, newcomer to Division 1, he's got a bit of damage already, one of the wheel arches flapping on his MAN. There's Bradley Smith, number 46, the youngest man in the championship, chased by Craig Reed. Bradley got his first podium at the season opener at Brands Hatch. We had 4 different winners in Division 1 at the opening round. Ryan Smith not as dominant as we've seen in previous years. Here comes David Jenkins attacking the number 81 of Mark Taylor. Bit of smoke out of the back of 92 of Simon Faulkner there. The officials will be watching for any black smoke produced by the trucks. Deemed to be producing too much smoke, you can be flagged off and have to pull into the pits. Ryan Smith leads around the opening lap of the weekend here at Pembrey, sideways out of Hatchett's Hairpin. Stuart Oliver in second place. The gap was almost 1.5 seconds at the end of lap number 1. Through the hairpin they go. Division 2 leaders keeping up with Division 1. You can see there Jock Borthwick on the tail of Simon Faulkner. Jock Borthwick was on the podium in every Division 1 race at Brands Hatch. He was 2nd or 3rd in all 5 races. Didn't manage to win though. He wants his first win here. Through the Senna corner. There's that number 3 of Stephen Powell, new to Division 1 this year. You can see the wheel arch hanging off there. Bit of contact on the first corner as he tried to get down the inside. 3 into 1 didn't work. Ryan Smith increasing his lead over Stuart Oliver in number 7. Newell, the Yorkshireman, number 18 in 3rd. Then Simon Reed in 4th. Powell is 5th. It's Tom O'Rourke, number 86, in 6th position. The rest of the Division 1 trucks come through. Here comes Division 2. They've got ahead of 92 Simon Faulkner. He was struggling a bit in qualifying as well. His first full season in the championship. And there's a black and orange flag out there on the start line as Craig Reed runs wide onto the grass there. Now, black and orange flag means technical problem, pull into the pits. That is for number 92. Yes, the black and orange flag, that's the meatball flag as the drivers call it, the black with the orange circle. That means technical problem, pull into the pit, and I assume it's for Simon Faulkner, number 92. I assume that's for black smoke. The judges looking on at this event, so Simon Faulkner is going to have to pit to try and rectify that problem. We've lost Adam Bintz into the pits as well, unfortunately, in the number 5. I think we may have lost Michael Oliver further back as well. I didn't see the number 12 come through. Bradley Smith under fire from Ricky Collins, truck racing veteran in the 95. Based in Halifax in Yorkshire, runs a heavy haulage company. Craig Reed behind them, number 68 with the Iveco, last year's Division 2 champion, his first title in the sport. There's a green flag waving there coming out of Brooklands corner, so I assume that's where Michael Oliver has come to grief. Yes, I think he's parked up on the outside. Ricky Collett there throwing the 95 around there as they come to Honda corner towards the end of lap number 3. Smith leads by nearly 3.5 seconds now. This is the main battle further back. Bradley Smith in 9th place. He's got Ricky Collett on his tail. Here's our Division 2 leader with the very Scottish livery, white with the tartan sunstrip there. Jock Borthwick from Luke Garrett. John Powell's up to 3rd in the number 6, the championship leader in the DAF. Then it's the number 16 of Brad Smith. Brad Smith and Bradley Smith, just to confuse everybody. Brad Smith, very experienced truck racer, has got Craig Evans, number 10, his 2nd full season in the championship behind him, was 3rd in Division 2 last season. So we've lost a couple of trucks early on. Michael Oliver has pulled off at the top end of the circuit. Craig Reed on the tail of Ricky Collett here. 10.5 minutes of this 15-minute thrash still to go. You see the green flag from the marshal there in the background. That means out of the danger area. There's yellow flags at Brooklands. I believe that's where Michael Oliver has come to a stop. 3 trucks into the pits at the end of the last lap. Adam Bint, we mentioned, had pulled in. There's Michael Oliver in the background. We've also lost Simon Faulkner. He was flagged in by the officials for black smoke. And John Bowler's pulled off as well in the number 14 into the pit lane. Bradley Smith, number 46, was racing trucks before he was old enough to drive a lorry on the road, would you believe? You only need an ARDS racing licence to race trucks. You don't need an HGV licence. Well, there's Ryan Smith. He's away and gone. That beautiful looking Daimler Freightliner. Bodywork purchase from the Freightliner team based in the Czech Republic. Stuart Oliver in 2nd. There's John Newell, the Yorkshireman, in 3rd in truck number 18. Returned to truck racing a few years ago after a long break. Great stuff so far. The leaders fairly well spread out. See the speed of Nottinghamshire's Ryan Smith. 6 consecutive Division 1 championships. He was in a Mercedes Actros last season. Now in this Daimler Freightliner. Over the line he goes. His gap was 3.5 seconds to Stuart Oliver. What's it going to be this time? It's over 5 seconds now. Back in his usual dominant form. Newell 3rd, Simon Reed is 4th. The rather battered MAN of number 3, Stephen Powell, is 5th. The move being made here by David Jenkins on the inside, down into the hairpin. Division 2, Jock Borthwick continues to lead the way in truck number 32. We'll see what his gap is back to Garrett. It's 3.5 seconds. Luke Garrett in 2nd. There's Michael Oliver parked up. He's been there for a couple of laps now. Picked up some damage, I think, on the first corner. Maybe he's just looking at having a good look at trying to buy that motorhome. Looking impressive, isn't it? Parked next to the circuit. Simon Reed up there in 4th. Back after a couple of years away from racing. Tom O'Rourke under fire from David Jenkins. Now, David had a bit of a struggle in qualifying. He only qualified 8th. And he wants to be up and challenging Ryan Smith because there's 10 points between the two of them in the championship coming into this weekend. Bradley Smith is 3rd in the Division 1 standing, so he's quite far back as well in 9th. Stuart Oliver 4th, and John Newell rounding out the top 5 in the points. John Powell leads Jock Borthwick in the Division 2 points by 6 points, with Brad Smith a further point back in 3rd. Coming up to 7.5 minutes to go, so we're halfway through this first British Truck Racing Championship of the race of the weekend here at Convoy in Pembrey. A manner of attractions off track this weekend. There's a truck show, even some tractor pulling, would you believe, taking place off track here at Pembrey Circuit this weekend. David Jenkins closing here on Tom O'Rourke. Last lap was a few tenths of a second slower. Smith goes through still with the lead, Ryan Smith. Stuart Oliver in 2nd, the 2 bonneted trucks out in Stuart Oliver, the all-time great of British truck racing with 10 championships, a European title as well. John Newell in a safe 3rd place, clear of Simon Reed in 4th. No major changes among the front runners from the start of this first race of the weekend. There's still a long way to go yet. There's Bradley Smith. He's got a wheel arch coming loose as well as Ricky Collett attacks. Further ahead, Tom O'Rourke under intense pressure from the Digraph Transport Morris Lubricants MAN of David Jenkins. Jenkins, a former champion as well. He and Ryan Smith, deadly rivals on track. He wants to get up and attack Smith for the lead. He's got to get past Tom O'Rourke in 6th place first of all. Stephen Powell ahead of them, with bodywork still flapping in the breeze. MV Truck Racing MAN moves to cover the line there. Tom O'Rourke, the Scotsman, boss of MV Commercial, one of the sponsors of this championship for a number of seasons. Behind them, Mark Taylor in the number 81. Jenkins slides to the inside, coming out of Debeni up to the crossing. Then the left-hander and the short straight up towards Senna. Ayrton Senna, I believe, still holds the outright lap record here at Pembrey. The early 90s Formula One teams did used to test here. Never been a Welsh Grand Prix though. Now Craig Reed on the tail of Bradley Smith. Ricky Collett's already gone through, sideways as ever in his MAN. Great to have Ricky Collett back. He didn't race last year, had repeated engine problems with the MAN. Craig Reed having a go to the inside. Bradley Smith seems to be struggling here. I think it's the first time that young Bradley has raced at Pembrey. Still this battle for 6th position. O'Rourke, Jenkins and Taylor. Slide their way out of Hatchett's hairpin. Jenkins is certainly putting O'Rourke under pressure now. There goes Ryan Smith. There goes our Division 2 leader, and he's still Jock Borthwick leading Division 2, looking for his first win of the season. He's about 6 seconds clear of Luke Garrett. Third is John Powell, then Craig Evans. There's the battle between Collett, Smith and Reed. 5 trucks left running in Division 2 now. Brad Smith in last place because we lost John Bowler, and sideways there, Tom O'Rourke. Onto the grass goes the 86. Here comes Mark Taylor on the inside. David Jenkins just about holds him off. So Jenkins makes up the place, so does Taylor. I thought we were going to see Tom O'Rourke go spinning off into the grass there. He had a spectacular crash, of course, O'Rourke at Thruxton a couple of years ago at the chicane. Avoided the barriers this time. Just under 4 minutes of this race to go. There is Jenkins. Raced by Mark Taylor in the Taylor's Haulage, number 81, MAN. Further ahead of them, still Stephen Powell. Here's a replay of that moment up at Brooklands. Don't think there was any contact there between the two. There was a bit of contact as Mark Taylor tried to come through. And if Tom O'Rourke hadn't got the brakes hard on there, he would have been heading for England, I think. Tom O'Rourke now under fire from this next battle. Ricky Collett behind him, then Bradley Smith, and then 68 of Craig Reed. Here's Jock Borthwick, he's away and clear in Division 2. Lost a win in the opening race at Brands Hatch when he spun and threw its hairpin. He won't make that mistake this time, and still the battle raging on between Jenkins and Mark Taylor. David Jenkins seems a little down on power in this race so far. He struggled in qualifying. Maybe just needs some more top-end speed out of the truck. He's got time to have a look at it. The next truck race coming up later this afternoon. At the state of Stephen Powell's MAN there, up in Division 2 for the first time, in Division 1 for the first time this season. He's the 2020 Division 2 champion. But the two bonneted trucks at the front are away and gone. Ryan Smith leads Stuart Oliver by over 7 seconds now. There's a further gap of 5.5 seconds back to John Newell in third, and he's nearly 3 seconds ahead of Simon Reed. So the leader's well spaced out. All the battles are further back in the order. The top 5 are pretty much set at the moment. The main battle for 6th is this fight between Jenkins and Taylor. Then Tom O'Rourke, who's got clear by a couple of lengths again ahead of Ricky Collett. 2 minutes of the race to go. Ricky Collett, so he's kicking up a bit of dirt there. Wheel onto the grass. There's our Division 2 leader, 32 of Jock Borthwick. Way ahead of Luke Garrett now, over 10 seconds clear. There is the orange MAN, the former 2-time Division 2 champion, on his own in second in the division. Quickest lap of the race by Ryan Smith, 1 minute 10.4. Lead is now 8 seconds for Flying Ryan. Here he comes. 1 minute 20 left to go. So he should be coming round to start his final lap this time, Ryan Smith. It's Oliver in second. 2 laps to go, I make it, in this first truck race of the weekend. Senior top 5 are fairly well spaced out. Here comes the battle for 6th place. Mark Taylor still all over the rear axle of Mark Taylor. That's 4 of them together, with Tom O'Rourke having dropped back into the clutches. Ricky Collins. The leader coming up to lap. Brad Smith in the number 16, the Midland Truck Breakers and Unity Recovery sponsored number 16, the green coloured truck. Colour, isn't it? Reminds me of the livery used by Kurt Goranson in the early days of his Q8 liveried Volvos, before he went into the red and white of International Diesel service. Still this fight paging on. Mark Taylor determined to get past David Jenkins. Jenkins is struggling with that MAN. Taylor's haulage truck on his tail. Clock about to count down to 0, so it's going to be checkered flag this time for Flying Ryan, starting his weekend as he means to go on. A couple of slip-ups. That's Brands Hatch in the season opener. Lost 1 win when he tripped over a back marker on the last corner and allowed David Jenkins to go through. No problem this time though. Comes down towards Carter's Curve, then up to Honda Corner for the final time. Stuart Oliver safe in second place. It's going to be a win for Flying Ryan. The checkered flag is out. Ryan Smith takes the win ahead of Stuart Oliver. Dom Newell will come over for 3rd place, and Simon Reed in 4th. Stephen Powell, despite that bit of flapping bodywork, will take 5th position. Is David Jenkins going to hang on? Yes, he is. 6th ahead of Mark Taylor. Tom O'Rourke, after that grassy moment, takes 8th. 9th is Ricky Collins. 10th for Bradley Smith. 11th it is Craig Reed. Next home we should have our Division 2 race winner. It's going to be a first win of the season for number 32. I'm very pleased Jock Borthwick comes in to take the win. Luke Garrett will come over in 2nd place. The air horn sound on the slowdown lap. 3rd in Division 2 will be the championship leader John Powell, but only just. He's got Craig Reed all over the back of him, Craig Evans rather, all over the back of him there as they come over the line. Brad Smith a lap down, waiting for finishers. Well, we barely saw him during that race, he was so far ahead. Flying Ryan Smith takes the victory, starting as he needs to go on here at Pembrey. Confirm the results in just a moment. Ryan Smith the winner by nearly 8.5 seconds ahead of Stuart Oliver at the line, with John Newell completing the podium another 5.5 seconds back. 4th place went to Simon Reed ahead of Stephen Powell. Then the first of the main battles, David Jenkins holding off Mark Taylor. Jenkins, I think, will be a bit disappointed with 6th position. Tom O'Rourke sliding back to 8th ahead of Ricky Collins. Bradley Smith completing the top 10 ahead of Craig Reed. And then the Division 2s headed home by a very pleased Jock Borthwick for his first win of the season. Nearly 11 seconds clear of Luke Garrett in 2nd. John Powell 3rd in Division 2, just ahead at the line of Craig Evans. The only other finisher was Brad Smith in the number 16, a lap down, and we lost into the pits. John Bowler, Simon Faulkner was flagged off, we believe due to excess smoke. Adam Binton early retirement, and we lost Michael Oliver early on as well. We can now hand down to Park Fernley.
That is so sticky, isn't it? That is ridiculous. The amount of heat you get in these tyres, and they just come in and look at all this gravel. Want anything for your garden? They'll be charging us for that when we leave Pembrey. Right, fantastic first race of the weekend here at Pembrey Circuit, and we're down here again in Parc Fermé now, where I'm joined by Jock Borthwick, first place in Division 2. Let's just wander over and have a word with him. The Flying Scotsman, come over here. Jock, massive congratulations on your podium finish, first place. It seemed like a quite delicate, gentle, nice, enjoyable race for you there.
It was actually. After I got away, I got a good start. I think looking some of the boys was obviously fighting to let me get away, and pushed for maybe 3-4 laps, and then I just kept the gap and steadied away. So no, it was good. Usually you're desperate in the flag coming out at the end, but there I just felt it could have went round all day at that pace. I was comfortable, so it was nice. Enjoyed it.
Well, that's good. I mean, look like you enjoyed it. I mean, the thing with Pembrey Circuit is it looks like when they start spreading out, that's it done for. With your experience of the track, obviously you've been here testing, you've been here racing a few times now. Do you think there is still opportunity for overtakes?
Oh yeah, definitely. But when you break that gap to the 50 metres or so, you can just gauge it and run it. But when it's close, there's plenty of opportunities to overtake.
So yes, there's still a bit of battle to be had. Now, with regards to the reverse grid, we'll be going the second race today in a slightly different order to normal.
Right, I'm not sure.
Yeah, see, none of us...
Tell us where I'm going.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll just wait and see where you end up on the starting grid, and we'll judge it from there. Is that all right?
That'll do me.
Fantastic. Right, now, I've got some new Tonics products to go over with you shortly. Yeah. We've got a Tonics Caramel Cream, which is like more like a blue ribbon in England, just to let you all know out there. Okay. Other biscuits are available.
It'll not be blue.
It's not blue, no, it's tartan.
Yeah,
You
good.
bite into it.
Good.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, come on, I'll bring some over in a bit.
You do that. We're canny Iron Brew.
Okay. Oh, Iron Brew. Right. Let's go and find some more drivers now down here in Parc Fermé, and we'll see you soon. Oh, you want to keep going? Right, mate. Love you. Cheers, mate. We're talking about biscuits, and Ewan starts waving at me like live television, ladies and gentlemen. It's the way it goes. Right then, let's move forward down the pack. Oh, actually, can we find him? Is he about? Yes, here he is. We'll just let the diesel fumes dissipate. Look at this image of a team as one, ladies and gentlemen. The hard work has paid off, and they're all just, well, dossing, I suppose would be a good word for it. Ryan Smith, fantastic race. Let me shake your hand. First place, I think a little expected.
Just get the first one underway, get the fastest lap early for the extra point, and bring it home safe, save the truck for race 2. Going to race 2 now, pretty confident, and quite delighted.
Yeah. As we were just talking to Jock, of course, both of you front runners in your comparative divisions. Is there a situation where once you've got that gap, you just calm it down a bit? And where do you make that decision during the race?
After about lap 2, I said to Arnie, I'm just going to back it down a bit, because I seen I was pulling a second and a half a lap or something. I'd already got the fastest lap, and I just backed it down from there. And then, of course, when you get a lead like 7 seconds, you start hearing noises, and the engine's making a noise, and just certain things. It's just racing, and now we're delighted. Save the truck for race 2. I don't want to give them. The mechanics have worked. The whole team have worked so hard on Friday with the problems we had. They didn't finish till 1-2 o'clock in the morning, up at 6. So it'll be nice tonight, if there's not many changes for them to make, going in tomorrow and starting the day off afresh.
Starting the day off afresh. That sounds good. So a relatively relaxed evening. Team, gather round for me a moment. Come on, Arnie. Hi. Gang signs from Horney there. We've got the gang here, and they've been with Ryan for.
Wasn't they shotgun signs from Horney there?
Yeah. I don't want to know. We're live. We're not going to go there. But yeah. So these are the guys, the core team that have been with Ryan Smith now for a couple of years. Arnie himself has built these trucks with Ryan over the last couple of years from the ground up, really, haven't you, Arnie?
Yeah, from the ground up, yeah.
And what kind of goes into building a truck like this? Where do you even start? Obviously from the ground, but
But it's a lot of hard work, long hours, just maintaining them. It's endless, really. But
and I've heard Ryan might actually pay you this year as well.
maybe. We should so see.
What, 7th time? What, 7th championship, and we'll send him an invoice. Is that what it is?
Definitely.
Yeah. Right, thanks very much, guys. That's all down here. We've got time for one more. Oh, we've got time for one more. My PA with the battery pack has got time for one more driver. Let's zigzag through and see who we can find. It's when we find out they're all just missing. Here we go. Fantastic. Wireless mics this time, ladies and gentlemen. It's all action. John Newell, come hither.
Come hither.
How are we?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, fantastic. Decent start to the weekend for you.
Yeah, not too bad. I'd like to have been a bit closer, but we'll settle for that to start with.
Did you see much of the tussle at the first corner? I know Pembrey is traditionally quite a difficult first corner. The fact we got round without any red flags is a bit of a bonus.
Yeah, it certainly is, because there's usually always something what goes off, but it was pretty clean, I think, to be honest with you. It was at the front. I don't know what we're going off behind.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of bump and tickle, but what are you going to do? Rubbing's racing, right?
It certainly is. We just keep going and get ready for the next one.
Now, obviously, we're walking round looking at a lot of gravel stuck to tyres. The conditions are epic for the first 5 or 10 minutes, aren't they, at the moment? But the heat really starts to affect us a lot later in the race.
Yeah, as soon as you get into about lap 5, it just falls off edge of a cliff. Everybody drops a second and a half a lap.
Yeah, as I say, you can see that on TSL timing. If you're not watching that, by the way, you can get that live on your phones whilst you're watching the stream at home and keep track of all the lap times. And yeah, you did notice the entire pack really start to lose it nearer the end of the race there. Is there anything you can do particularly that will improve that, or is that just the case across the board?
No, it's just a case across the board. It's same for everybody, so that's what it is.
Well, at least it's fair. Well, congratulations. Bit of silverware to hand out to you shortly, sir. We'll see you over at the stage.
Cheers, thank you.
Right, I think that's was still one more. My goodness, are you doing anything else today, ladies and gentlemen? Right, okay. Follow me. Let's go and have a look. Yes, that's thanks. Good, Ewan. Good. Yes, it's fantastic having assistance.
Hello.
Mr. Reid, how are we?
All right, yeah, good. Not bad. Yeah, we're just getting to grips with it. It's a whole new, with a new truck. Well, an old but new truck coming here. It's definitely testing. You go. What basically I was faster last year in Division 2.
Yeah.
But I've just got to get into the swing of things with the truck base.
Well, that brings up a very interesting point. So for those at home that don't know, Craig Reid obviously won the Division 2 championship last year, and then this year, like you say, same truck, slight modifications and adjustments that brings you into Division 1. What actually goes into changing a Div 2 truck to Div 1?
Quite a bit, to be honest with you. I've altered all the subframe, all of the back axles, what we call like a lightweight back axle. Even down to the hubs, everything. The front axle has obviously got more degree on it as well. You change the dampers. I'm actually still on my Division 2 dampers at the minute. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of weight. Weight is the key. And to be honest with you, on these GT tyres, I didn't have any issues last year, but I was running a different combination with Goodyears on the back. But the GTs, I think it's all about the tyre management as well now with the GTs. But it's good that we're all on an even playing field, because if you're making a mistake, it's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if there's an issue, then someone's not doing something right, rather than because everyone's got the same tyres, which is great to hear. Yeah. So a few modifications more to make this season, and hopefully you have a better end to the weekend.
I just need to be honest with you, for me, it's all about the challenge. I want the challenge to move forward, and that when Division 2 is great. It's a great place to start. But I'm happy to be. To be honest with you, I would sooner be at the back of Division 1 fighting. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, so you did definitely dominate Division 2. Yes, so a lot more of a challenge now.
To be honest with you, one little mistake and you're done, and that's all I did then. I got past Ricky and Bradley. Great driving, great racing, and then I chucked it away. So that's it.